Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I'm back with another earbud review, and this time it's the Soundcore Spirit X2s. Now these earbuds are not just for anybody. These are designed specifically for people who have an active outdoors, fitness lifestyle. So that's why they have these little ear apparatuses that go up and over the ear to hold them into place. And they're a really nice follow-up from last year's Spirit X earbuds. So totally good. IPX8 dust and water resistant, so you can throw them in the water and submerge them up to 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes. They have 9 hours of playtime and a total of 36 hours of playtime with the included case. So lots of really cool things going on here, and we're gonna dive in and take a look at that. But before we get there, I do wanna say, if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now, let's take a look at the Spirit X2s. All right, so here we are with the Soundcore Spirit X2s, the fancy workout earbuds. These are for people who like to go to the gym, active lifestyle, do a lot of running around outdoors. You don't have to worry about these falling out of your ears. And that's thanks to the cool little ear hooks they have on here, the things I like to call the ear apparatus. But you can call it whatever you want, ear hooks. Have a field day. So, some cool stuff on the front of the wrapping paper here. IP68 dust and water resistance, I talked about that briefly, but waterproof, water resistant up to half an hour, 30 minutes, up to 1.5 meters of depth. So really cool. You get 2 hours of playtime on a 10-minute charge, and you get up to 36 hours of playtime. So the earbuds themselves have 9 hours of playback time, and then you get the rest of the time out of the case, so for a total of 36 hours before you have to recharge the case, which is pretty darn good. And then you have the dual band EQ for the bass up technology, kicking that turbo bass so that you can take your bass experience to the next level, which we'll talk about later. Now it has CVC 8.0 noise cancellation. Now that's not active noise cancellation. What that does is it uses that technology to focus on and isolate your voice, so when you're talking to somebody else, you sound crispy and clear and all that good stuff. And I've tested it on some phone calls, and the people I've called, other than the fact that they have to listen to my voice, said that it does seem to be nice and clear. So good for phone calls. It has dual microphones. You got one on each, so you get the stereo microphone set up so it comes through and across the way that it's supposed to whenever you're talking. The fit and comfort is really nice, and it's got these ear stabilizers on here. And we'll go ahead and do the fit test now. So I'll go ahead and pop one of these on. It does take a couple times of trying before you, get it down. It's not like other ones where you just pop them in there, but you can see it's got a little bit going on right here. So I'll pop those in. All right, so it's got this little rubber apparatus that goes up and over the ear, which is actually nice and comfortable. It's lightweight. I tested out some like the Impal Flame Pros before, and I find these to be more comfortable and they fit better, and they've got a nice seal on them too. And if you don't get a good seal, test the other earbuds. And that's something that's paramount and important with all earbuds, because if you don't have the right fitting ear tips on there, then you're gonna lose out on the bass for one, and two, it's just not gonna sound as good as it can. So it might could come off less impressive in that regard. So listen to it and don't just use the standard size that's on there. If it's not sounding right, try a different set of ear tips, and that'll probably enhance your listening experience. So pretty cool there. Like I said, nice, comfortable, fit well. They sit nice and down in the ear a little bit, so it kind of seals things off. You get some sound isolation there and really good volume, like really, really good volume. I was really impressed with these when I put them on. And normally whenever I'm listening to earbuds, one of my biggest complaints is they just don't get loud enough. Now, my ears, my hearing is not as good as the average person. I spent 16.5 years in the military. Lots of weapons, lots of airplanes, lots of deployments. I don't hear so good. So I need something that's extra loud. So if you want something that's really loud, then these right here are probably gonna be something that are gonna be helpful for you. And in addition to that, it works out great because when you're out exercising, if you're at the gym, if there's other things going on, they don't have active noise cancellation, which is fine. I mean, for a set of $79 earbuds, I wouldn't expect them to have that, but at the same point in time, the sound isolation and the volume is so good, you're not gonna hear anything anyone says anyway. I mean, I almost walked into a person out on the track because I was too busy playing on my phone while I was walking, and I couldn't hear anything. So these, definitely good in that department. Now, as far as the onboard controls, you have volume up and volume down, which is really nice, and I think is super important when it comes to a pair of fitness-oriented, active-oriented earbuds, because you don't want to have to be grabbing your phone. Typically, if you're doing something like this, you have your phone set down on the treadmill or on the elliptical. If you're riding your bike, it could be in an armband, whatever. So having the ability to do the plus and minus, minus on the left, plus on the right, gives you the ability to change the volume on the fly, which is really good. And be careful with these, because you're gonna have to make sure that the volume is turned up all the way on these, and the volume needs to be turned up all the way on your phone. It doesn't seem to sync. It may with iPhone, but with Android, it does not. I tested it with a couple different phones. I think my iPhone too. I think it just doesn't do it. Make sure you turn the volume up on these all the way, and then control it on your phone, because they operate independently of each other. So if you turn the volume all the way up on your phone, these could still be turned down and you won't be listening at the volume level that you would like to be. So if you run into questions, you're like, this just doesn't sound very good to me, remember that, make sure you have it turned up. Now, you have the multifunction button on the right and the left here. You can use that for play, pause, skip, also your Google Assistant, whatever assistant you have that's built into your phone. So if you're using an iPhone, you can access Siri, a Samsung phone, Bixby, all that good stuff. You have that in here. Now, one thing that I wish that it had is I wish that it had access to like the global equalizer stuff, like the other Soundcore series, like the Liberty 2 Airs and Liberty 2 Pros, that have access to the Soundcore app that allows you to change the global equalizer and the settings in there. This doesn't have that, unfortunately. I wish that it did, but at $79, I'm not really gonna ding that. So make sure you're setting up your equalizers across the board for your different apps. So if you're using Pandora, if you're using Spotify, whatever, make sure that you set that up so that you're getting the best sound experience possible, along with the right ear tips. Battery life on these is fantastic. I never tested them long enough in one sitting to kill them in the 9 hours. I used them for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. They work perfectly fine. You can charge them anytime that you want to. And that's kind of the way that I roll. I'll use them for 1 day or 2 days, and then I put them back in the charger. I don't really leave them out, so I'm constantly recharging them. They do sit in the case nice and easy. You don't have any problems putting them in there. And then you have the lights that pop up to indicate that it is charging. 1 or 2 times I did have an issue where the one on, I think it was the one on the right, it just didn't, for whatever reason, didn't seal properly with the charging station. So I went to go, listen to them, and the right one was almost dead and the left one was fully charged. So just make sure that you're seeing, make sure you're seeing those lights pop up before you close the lid. And then the nice thing about the lid is it shows you the status for the battery life. You've got 3 little LED lights there, of course, indicating how much battery is left in the charger. Now, this is a really big charging case. Like I said, USB-C, which is great to charge it quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you press the button, you can get the LED readout, which is nice to let you know what the battery status is. I thought that it was going to be wireless charging, because some of the other Soundcore products are, and especially with such a big battery bank like this, you would think they made it this way so that it was wireless charging. No, it's not. Now, talking about the sound experience. These suckers sound good. I was really surprised. Not that let me rephrase that. Soundcore does make really good products, so I wasn't surprised that they sounded good, but compared to last year's Spirit X's and now listening to the Spirit X2s, these suckers have some power, they've got some volume, they've got a nice sound stage, the bass is really satisfying. It doesn't have a huge boom that carries, but you're really not gonna get that out of most earbuds. The only ones I found that have headphone-like earbuds, when it comes headphone-like bass, is like the Jabras, and then maybe like the AirPods Pro. They have some really good bass. These, it has hard-hitting, punchy bass that sounds really good, and of course, depending on how you run your equalizer and also what kind of music you're listening to is going to dictate the type of bass experience that you're going to have. But overall, the bass is very good. It doesn't distort. It carries just enough, and it has a nice little punch to it that I like. But of course, it has 13mm drivers in here, which is really big for a set of earbuds. Now, the vocals are good. One thing that really impressed me with these is vocal quality. I went out and I was listening to them. I like to wear these at night when I go on walks and stuff like that. And I'll listen to podcasts, or I'll listen to live streams on YouTube, or just music. And vocals are really good. It's got a nice, warm, and rich tone. It doesn't sound cheap. It doesn't sound underpowered. The mids are really, really where it's at with these. One fantastic mids experience. The highs are good. They're better than average, especially in the $70 price point. All in all, I give these 2 thumbs up when it comes to overall audio experience. And then on top of that, you get the buttons on the outside. You get the nice, comfortable fit. It has a bunch of different ear tips. Now, let me show you this. I meant to get in this earlier. I'm gonna show you what you get with the ear tips in this thing, and it's just ridiculous. Look how many different sets of ear tips you have there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sets of ear tips, different sizes. It's got the little ones with the stabilizers right here. It's got so many different ear tips that you can choose from, so you can make sure that you get the best fit, the best sound isolation, and the most comfortable, enjoyable listening experience for you, which is the best thing you can hope for when it comes to earbuds, because it doesn't matter how good they are. If they're not comfortable and you can't wear them for very long, then you're not going to enjoy the experience. So this takes a lot of that out of the question, a lot of that out of the equation. You can wear them for a long time. They're lightweight. You don't have to worry about them falling off. And if you're somebody like me who doesn't have traditional sized ears, you know, I don't have the largest ears in the world, a lot of earbuds are uncomfortable for me when I wear them. Or if I wear the AirPods or the AirPods Pro, they always feel like they're going to fall out. These right here, they fit naturally well on their own, but then with the stabilizers that go up and over the ear, you're good. They fit so nice. So with these earbuds, one nice feature is the ability for them to work in mono mode. What is mono mode? That means that you can use either one of the earbuds by themselves. So if you're listening to both of them and you take the right one out and put it in here, the left one doesn't shut off, it keeps working. And if you take the left one out and you're just listening to the right one, that one works too. So that's one really nice feature that goes with these earbuds. Now the other cool thing, there's the turbo bass feature. Now, I know we talked about the sound experience, but I wanted to save this and talk about it because it's important. Now, under normal operating conditions, when it's not in turbo bass mode, the bass, like I said, is punchy and it's good, but it doesn't really have that big oomph. It doesn't have that depth and that carrying resonance to it that you would get with like headphones, you know, that really signature bass sound. Well, if you turn on the turbo bass mode, which is really easy to do, all you have to do is press and hold the multifunction button on the right or the left. When you hold it for 1.5 seconds, and it changes the equalizer to the turbo bass mode, and then you get some serious bass, like for real serious bass. So if you like to listen to your earbuds and have a lot of bass that goes along with them, kick in that turbo bass mode and you'll be good to go, and you'll be able to have that extra emphasis, you'll have that resonance, and you'll have that carrying depth that you really don't get in a lot of other earbuds, especially for under the $100 price point. It really is impressive. That's about all I have on my review of the Spirit X2s. I like them a lot. Totally worth 79 bucks, hands down. I would recommend these if you said, should I go buy them? Now, of course, I'm not a salesman. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not being compensated for this, and Soundcore is not getting to see this before you are. This is just sent out as a review unit, but I do like them. I think they're very good, and if you ask me if they're worth it, I think so. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, like I said in the beginning, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you can get updates when new videos come out. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.